Afternoon, everyone. If you're new to the channel, my name's David, and just a little over a year ago now, I purchased 35 acres in Wyoming, and slowly but surely, I'm building up a homestead here. I stress slowly because I'm doing it all on solely an income of Social Security. I took it at 62, a little bit early, so it's a little bit less, but I'm debt free, so I don't really have pretty much zero expenses other than your few normal bills. But yeah, so it's going to be a slow progress, and I've been out here, like I say, a little over a year now, and I haven't mentioned anything or on the solar system that I have. So I figured I'd tell you a little bit about that today, especially if you're in an RV and you're thinking about getting some type of system. Now, of course, the battery bank that I have, obviously you'd use less than that if you were just boondocking or going camping. But if you're serious about possibly starting a homestead, and you want to have enough power to kind of get you by until you build a home, and then at that point build a much larger system, and of course that's going to come with the larger cost. That was my main point, and I wanted a happy medium because this is all going to be temporary. I may probably wind up using this system to keep the barn behind me. So I'll have power in there for running tools and stuff. But I didn't want to break the bank on it because it's again going to be temporary until I can get myself inside a home out here. But so let me just start out with the solar panels. Obviously there's 4 there, and each one is 200 watts. So I looked online, and for RV solar systems, I chose a Renogy. It's called a Rover, and it's good. It's 60 amp charge controller. So there's plenty of amperage there. Your average RV is like a 30 amp, but these are hooked in a series parallel configuration, so real efficient in charging up the batteries on a good sunny day. Well, even like if you look today, it's pretty cloudy all the way around. We've actually had 2 days and here it is, July 9th or 10th, and we had 2 days where it was down in the 50s at night, and only hit the low 60s for a daytime high. Surprising. I've been out here about 3 years now, and boy, I was dreading the heat that I was expecting for this year. Being out here and not having air conditioning, this is going to be my first full summer out here. And we've had a few days where it'd string along, maybe 2 or 3 days in the 90s, but it would cool down at night. And so it wasn't terribly bad, but this year's been completely different. It's been raining a lot, which would help cool things down. But even when it hasn't rained, even though it would be maybe 90, 92, 93 in the afternoons, by 6 o'clock it would start cooling down gradually. So by 7, 8, 9, certainly by 10 o'clock, it was down in the low 70s to maybe even the 60s. So it's been pretty pleasant. I've got no complaints. But that was a far far different than last year, where it was just staying hot all through the night and I was absolutely miserable. Because I got out here in June of last year, so really this is my second summer out here. But excuse me, the first summer I didn't have the barn, and I had the RV just out in the open here, and you know, I had all the windows open, and there was a lot of days where there was no breeze. So that you know, evening you're trying to go to bed, and no breeze coming through the windows. It was miserable, and I hadn't even and I didn't think to buy like a battery powered fan. So yeah, it was bad. But so world of difference this summer. I got no complaints. But anyway, back to the solar system. So you see, like I say, I got the 4 panels. So only totaling up 800 watts. I'm going to go inside here in a second. Now, I had originally said I wasn't going to show inside of here until I got gravel put down on the inside, because it just looks so messy. Not to mention, you know, with the RV inside the barn, it just takes up so much space. I put a few shelves in on the other side, which we won't be going on, where I put up some stuff. But the side that where I have the solar system, I've kind of enclosed that in at least one half of the from the RV over to the wall of the barn. In you know, I built a 2x4 framework and then put up 4x8 sheets of a styrofoam board to enclose just a smaller area for the wood stove that I put in there to heat that up. So in the wintertime, you've got you know, one half of the RVs enclosed in a small space, and of course that warm air coming off of the wood stove can get up underneath the RV, but it can't escape out the other side. Well, I'll show you just like from the front side. What I'm talking about is, see, I've closed up the bottom. So once you go through this door, which I would have closed in the winter time, sealed up, you know, the air can flow underneath the RV, and hot air obviously rises. So that helps. There's the wood stove. Like I say, it's kind of messy in here, and once I have gravel in here, I think it'll look a lot better. But yeah, so this side, you know, is open underneath, and the hot air can flow underneath. But when it gets to the other side, that's all got styrofoam board on there, and so it can't escape out the back side. And it helps keep things warm. But I also as well have a buddy heater that I use on the inside to aid in keeping it warm, because you know, here in Wyoming it does get extreme. We have extremes. I know we had a couple times where it hit 30 below zero, and so yeah, you need a little bit more than that little 1,200 foot capacity wood stove. But I'll just, before we go to the solar charger and all that, I'll just kind of quickly show the water system that I set up. Obviously got it's a 250 gallon IBC tote, which I have an account with the city utilities, so I can go to take this thing to the pump house. Well, I actually have another tank that I put that in the back of the truck, because I don't have a forklift or anything to load or unload a fully filled tank. So I'll load it in empty, take it to the pump house, fill it up, and then when I bring it back here, I've got a small transfer pump, and just, you know, go hose to hose and fill it, run it through here and fill this one up off of the one on the truck. And then once it's empty, you know, I can pull it off the truck again. But I went to Harbor Freight and got this small well pump. I really don't have any complaints about it, except for the fact and this is, I've got two of them and they both do the same thing. You can see I have the fan, the cover off and everything, and I have to leave it off because from time to time, you know, and I've tried putting lubricant, spraying lubricant in there around the shaft, but it just kind of gets stiff, and you know, it'll trip the inverter, and it, you know, it'll just shut down. So I have to turn the inverter off, and I have to come in here and wiggle that several times, and then go turn the inverter on again, and it'll start up. But you know, it was not that expensive, and except for that, it works. It does the job and everything. So yeah, so I just have it connected here to the IBC tote, goes into the pump and then comes back out, and then it goes into the water intake on my RV. So it works out pretty good. I you know, no complaints really, other than the fact that that seems to be like I say, it isn't just this one, it's the other one I have too. So they got a bit of an issue they need to work out there. Let's go try to go back here. It's somewhat dark in here. There's a little bit of sunlight coming through that door right now. Like I say, if that door were closed, it'd be so dark in here in the wintertime, which I got to keep it that way because it's so cold. It's real gloomy inside the RV, other than the lights from the RV, no natural light. So this year I'm gonna cut out a section here and put in a window, so I'll get some natural light throughout the winter months and everything. But here's my setup, and honestly, real simple and not that expensive. I think that that's the charge controller up there. Like I say, it's the brand is Rover, and it is specifically made for RVs, so it's not real big. And then I got a 3,000 watt inverter. Again, not expensive. I want to say the charge controller was somewhere between $300 and $400. I actually bought a kit, so it came with the charge controller and those 4 panels out there. God, I forget now exactly what it was. Don't quote me on this. Maybe it was somewhere around $800 or $900 for both. So, and then the inverter, somewhere around $300. And I started with just, well, actually I started with 4 golf cart batteries, those 6-volt deep cycle batteries, and had those for, I don't know, several months. And then I ditched those, and I picked up 4 of the these are lithium ion batteries. Figured I'd go with those, and you know, still wasn't happy with, you know, the time that I could. Well, I was hoping that when I switched to these lithium ion batteries, that I could not have to turn the inverter off during the night. The only thing that would be running during you know, the night would be my refrigerator, but you know, the RV is a 2009, maybe that refrigerator draws a lot of current, not that efficient, but um, anyway, I think sometime around 1 or 2 o'clock, I'd hear the alarm going off on the I guess from the inverter that was sensing low voltage. So I'd have to go turn it off anyway. And then the refrigerator, it will run off of the propane. So, you know, I think probably most RVs are set up that way. So you're good there. You know, it'll get you through until you next morning, sun's back up. You just turn your inverter back on. But yeah, I kept adding. I added another. I was buying them in 3 packs. The batteries. So you know, I bought 3 more, which put me at 7. And then well, lastly, I just recently I bought two more. So I'm up to 9 batteries at 100 amp hours each, so 900 hours. And I still can't run that thing all night, the inverter, keep it on all night without it dipping down to a point where the alarm goes off on low voltage. I don't know, I would have thought that that 900 amp hours would do the last you that whole night, because I don't know, you see people say they can run a chest freezer on just a few batteries and everything. So I don't know if there's something that I have wrong. I will say, I hope this is going to show up. I do have everything hooked in parallel. So, well, you got to, obviously, because it's a 12-volt system. So for anyone who might not know solar systems, when you hook batteries up in parallel, the the voltage stays the same, but the amp hours, you know, add up. So 9, each one 100 amp hours, so it goes up to 900 amp hours. But yeah, so have that all in parallel, 900 amp hours, and I can't really, you know, just leave everything turned on. It's not a big deal because, like I say, I'm sleeping, so I'm not needing to run anything AC. As far as DC goes, you know, your RV has house batteries. I've got 2 house batteries that are connected to it, so whenever I do shut the inverter off, I still have lights because they're all, you know, running the DC stuff. So it works for me. Like I said, I didn't want to break the bank because I'll, you know, just be better off spending that money once I have my home built. But all in all, you know, for what I paid for it, it's getting me through, and I'm not, you know, suffering too much. I have bought a battery-powered fan, so when it does get warm on those summer days when it hits the 90s, you know, I've got at least some flowing air now that, you know, like I say, I'm inside here, so I can't expect any kind of a cross breeze with the windows open. Yeah, so it is getting me by, and I'm fine with that. You just got to think ahead and understand someday you'll be out of all of this and be into a home. Right up top on that hill there is where I'm gonna build a log cabin. I've got the model picked out that I want, but I need about another year because I know I'm gonna have to have a crew come in here and level that out And then I want like a 4-foot stem wall, so I'll have crawl space underneath, and it'll be easy to get at any plumbing issues that might arise along the way. Hoping I won't have too many issues with freezing pipes, but I'm kind of hoping I can do PEX pipe, because those are flexible, and there shouldn't be an issue with the freezing. Being off grid, you know, I can't really run any kind of heaters down there to keep it super warm. I'll just try to insulate it as best I can, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, this is the view that I'll have once you know, I do have the home up here, and this will pretty much be like the corner where the deck is that I'll step out onto. So yeah, I can't wait, but it'll be a while. I mean, like I say, I'm on Social Security, so everything's in small steps, baby steps. So, but I'll be patient. I mean, I've got plenty of time. But yeah, it definitely can be done if you know, set yourself up fairly, you know, to where you don't have a lot of bills and all that kind of stuff. So I'll get there. It'll just be slow and steady. So, and as far as the chickens, I'd mentioned I'm going to be getting chickens, and finally getting closer to the date. I had ordered some probably close to a month and a half ago, but you know, they told me at the time it would be August 4th before they could get the species of, or breed of chickens that I wanted, which were a Buff Orpington breed. They seem to check all the boxes that I was looking for, so soon enough I'll have some chickens running around in there in the chicken coop. But I just hope they grow pretty fast, because August 4th, that gives me less than a month till September. And you know, as I'm seeing this year, weather can be unpredictable, because it was so much hotter last summer than it has been this year. And last year, September, it was warm all the way through, and it was pretty pleasant through a lot of October. It might have been the very last part of October that you know, we had any substantial cooler weather. And I don't believe we got any snow in October. I don't even know if even by the 1st of November we had any snow, sometime in November. But yeah, so hopefully they'll have plenty of time to feather out completely, and be able to deal with those winter conditions when they do get here. I know that might seem kind of late to be getting just freshly hatched chicks, but you know, what are you gonna do? You gotta depend on the hatchery. And so, and I did want to, again, thinking of how warm it was last summer, I thought that, you know, probably waiting a little bit longer till it would be warm all through the night would be the best thing to do. And since I can't run heat lamps, since I'm on, you know, a very limited solar system, but as I saw the last couple of days where it dipped into the 50s, waiting this late isn't even a guarantee. So I'll get them, and maybe I might not even put them inside that chicken coop right off the bat. I might possibly for a couple weeks keep them somewhere over here and run my buddy heater at nighttime, and then in the daytime I could set whatever I'm keeping them in out here, and hopefully they get some sun. Not a lot today, but it's breaking up a little bit. But yeah, it's been a wet summer. Usually, I don't know what I was told when I came out here. Originally, it was by July 1st. Well, the rain just shuts off, and that's it. You know, no more rain. In fact, they were in like a 2-year drought when I moved here in was it April of 22. So they've definitely come out of the drought and getting our share. But anyway, yeah. So like I say, if you just want an RV system, an affordable RV system for even just boondocking and camping, I mean, those 4 panels would fit on the top of a roof of a, you know, anything like a 25-foot RV or bigger. They'd fit on there no problem. And you wouldn't be able to have, you know, obviously you wouldn't want to tote around 9 batteries, but in those panels in that series parallel configuration, when I had those 4 6-volt batteries connected, you know, with the sun out, it would charge them up fast and actually keep them at that floating stage. Is just another term for leveled off or topped off throughout the whole day. Even though I was, you know, maybe in there watching TV, maybe kick on the microwave here and there. That's really the only things I could think of AC wise that I would use. I mean, again, not going to be turning on an air conditioner or anything like that. But the other thing that, you know, is going to be pulling some drain on that is while you've got that on, your house batteries, they're connected to a converter for the RV. So it's taking AC power from your solar system, converting it into DC, and then charging your house batteries. So there's going to be a draw there. But like I say, with the sun out, just that small little Rover system would keep everything topped off and have no problem. So you know, if you're either way, whether you're wanting to just go camping and have a small battery bank, or do like I have, 9 now lithium ion batteries, that Renogy system's it's affordable, and it'll get you through what you're going to need it for in the daytime, and with no problem, and not break the bank. So anyway, I just, like I say, I've done several other videos kind of discussing what I'm doing around the property here, but I hadn't talked about the solar system that I have. So I just wanted to show that to you, and you know, if it's something you think you might want to try, or if you've been kind of hesitant on making that jump and moving off grid on your own property, it's completely doable. It's not going to break the bank, and you're not going to be living some totally primitive life without power or anything like that. So don't let that scare you off from doing it, because things are definitely getting worse as far as sadly, as far politically speaking. I don't think a lot of people got what they voted for, as they're finding out. In fact, be calling us names, conservatives names, because we aren't going to just bow to the master when he says, you know, I told you one thing on the campaign, and now I'm telling you just to drop it. You know, don't. Epstein's a good guy. He didn't do nothing, you know. And Ghislaine Maxwell, well, what are you talking about? Don't you even bring her up. things are going in the worst, you know, they're just continuing to go in the opposite direction of what they should be. It doesn't matter whether you're voting Democrat or Republican, you're getting the same crap. And I know I didn't want to be any part of that. And I did another video recently on my property taxes here and how they're doubling it from last year. So that's a whole nother issue. I guess, you know, you may want to look into the, if you're going to buy property, if you can still find some cheap, affordable acreage, I would really kind of try to investigate and see if you think that if there's any reason why in the near future those prices might be going up drastically, because if the land value starts to go up, then they'll jump all over that and say, well, you know, hey, property values are going up, so that's why we're raising your taxes sky high and everything. So that's something to think about. I know a lot of you who are watching homesteading videos would like to own your own property, but there's one real thing to think about is, you know, what do you think that property taxes could soar up to if the local government just decides they want to jack them up like that? So anyway, you guys take care and have a good day.